Hi, welcome to Prophetic Declaration. I would like to teach to you today from Genesis chapter 3 and verses 15. And I want to read in your ears. It says, "And I will put enmity between thy seed and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel." I would like to speak to you today on why Satan is after humanity. I'm doing a series on demonology, and these are some of the questions I asked the Lord while I was doing my studies. And he took me to Genesis 3 and 15. And notice he says, "I will put enmity." And that word enmity there, the Hebrews pronounce abba, which means hatred or hostile or hostility. So here God said he was going to bring enmity, hatred between Satan and humanity, or Satan and man. And God said that because the enemy had a responsibility. And the responsibility that Satan had, he did not fulfill that responsibility. And I want you to understand that when we're dealing with demonic forces, the demonic attack, it is the same from the Bible days with the disciples. The same demon that attacked the disciples during Jesus Christ's time is the same one. He is the same one that was in heaven at one point in time. So when you come to the attack of humanity, we find that Satan does that because a responsibility was given to him and he did not carry out that responsibility. Now understand that he came with certain purpose in mind, and the Lord told us in John 10:10, the enemy, he came but to steal, to kill, and to destroy. Now before we understand in Isaiah 14 that the enemy, Satan, he was someone that was good. He was someone that was once in heaven, because it says in Isaiah 14:12-14, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nation? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend." So here Satan began to become very self-righteous, begin to declare more of himself. He said, "I will ascend into the heavens," because again, he was fallen from the heaven, and there are three heavens, the first, second, and third heaven, and he was in the heavens. And here he says, "I will ascend in the heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the eyes of the cloud. I will be like the Most High God." So here now we find, and even when you read Jeremiah 4 verses 21 until 28, we will find that Satan was cast down from heaven. After he was cast down in between when God created the first earth. Because in Genesis 1, he said, "In the beginning God created the heaven and the earth." When you look at the Hebrew translation, you see that it says, "In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth." So there was, when Satan was cast down, when he was cast out of heaven, he was cast down into the earth before Adam and Eve was created, before Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. So we find that when Adam was cast down, we find that he was given a responsibility, and we notice that the responsibility was given to Adam, the same that God has given to Adam and Eve, God had given to Satan, because in Genesis 1 and 28, he says, "And the Lord blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply," and what? He said, replenish. When you think of the word replenish, it means to rewind, to go back. When you look at when you rewind something, which means to go back, which means to look back or go back to the past. So he says in Genesis 1:28, "And God said multiply and replenish," and that word replenish, the Hebrew there is pronounced malah or malay, which means to be full or being completed or conform or fullness or accomplished. So here God has now given man the responsibility to malah, to replenish, to do what the enemy was given before to do. And now, because he has failed, because he become high-minded in Isaiah 14, because of his high-mindedness, "I will ascend into heaven, I will do this, I will do that." Now God has cast him out, put him into the abyss, and now the responsibility is now given to man. So because man has received this responsibility, Satan is always after you. Why is Satan after humanity? Because he was given a task and he did not fulfill the task that was given to him. Now, because he did not fulfill and man picked up that mantle of responsibility in the Garden of Eden, God has also given us the power. And we know that Satan received back the power that was given to man, because he said it himself in Luke 4:6. He said, "And the devil said unto him, All this power will I give unto thee, and the glory of them, for that is what? delivered, and that word delivered, you see the ending ed past tense, delivered, which is handed or to pass on unto me and to whomever I will give. So here Satan has declared to Jesus that he has been delivered, the power has been given unto him. But because the power has been given unto him, because men had fall, Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, we find now that Jesus Christ now take back the power that Satan had. And he says in Matthew 28:18, and Jesus said unto them and spake unto them, all power, and that word most people are familiar with, all, which means everything, power, exousia, which means authority or delegated empowerment. He said, has been given unto me. And he said, in heaven and in the earth. And the Lord has declared unto us in Luke 10:19, he said, behold, I give unto you what? Power to tread upon the enemy. So now because Satan has lost his responsibility, he did not fulfill it, he did not carry it out, and God give it to us. Now he's after mankind. Now you have to be bold, and you have to make sure when the enemy come and attack that you fight him with the word of God. I want to share with you two prophecies that the Lord, several prophecies the Lord has given to us. On February 18, the Lord said that a well-known brand dog food will have a recall. Dog food the dogs, when they eat the food, they will vomit, breathe heavy after eating this brand of food. Recall on dog food. The Lord also showed us that onions shipped from Mexico and Cuba will have a recall. To see more prophecies, you can go to murthlenesamson.org. Again, thank you for watching Prophetic Declaration. And remember why Satan is after you, because you pick up the responsibility that he did not want to carry out or fulfill that God placed on his life. Thank you so much for watching. Love you and see you next week. Be blessed. Bye now.